Ryan Sullivan of the Ivory Connection. We're coming back at you here talking about babies, fresh hatchlings. What do? Right out the egg. Now, I'm lying to you a little bit. These are about 3 days out the egg, but we're going to relive the fresh out the egg process with y'all so y'all can kind of experience it and see exactly what we go through here at the Ivory Connection when we have a nice fresh clutch. So if you want to take a look in here, we've got some fresh babies all piled up. Oh, the little babies. Really nice platinum genetic stripe tiger clutch. We did not hit all of the odds that we should have, but we made some really interesting animals, some really good looking stuff, and we'll get to see all this all unfurl here in just a second. So we're going to say that all these guys are fresh out the egg. I've come to my tub in my incubator. Everybody's pipped. Everybody's crawling around. They're all stealing each other's eggs and hiding in the other person's egg. That's when you come in, you get them all out, and you're going to want to give them a good soak. Now this water here has been sitting in a room that's about 80, 84 degrees all the time anyway. So this is good ambient 80 degree water. That's really what you're looking for. You don't want to put a bunch of microwaved hot 90, 95 degree water. If it's warm to your touch, it's way too hot for these babies. What you would feel comfortable bathing a small child in is what you're after here. So now we're going to take all of our babies that are kind of still, actually, honestly, they've got a little goo on them. They could really use this second run through the rinse anyway. When they come right out, they're going to be slick to the touch. I mean, they're just covered in egg yolk and goo and blood and all that good baby mess. So we're going to let them just get off in there and let them soak just a little bit. And you can see as they unwind, there are some really good looking animals in there, man. Those platy tigers that have that real nice thick dorsal stripe from the genetic stripe influence. There's genetic stripe platinum tiger in there. There's some really clean crisp platinums as well. I'm sure somebody's going to bite me here today, just as part of being babies. Babies are real defensive. But when you get them in here, what you're wanting to do, you want to feel around on everybody a little bit until all that slickness is off. And you might have to change this water once or twice if they're fresh. There's going to be perlite chunks in it and all sorts of stuff. And when you get them out, you want it to basically be eventually to the point where when you get this baby out, I can't feel anything greasy or slick on him. I can feel his scales. That's what you're after. If not, he's just going to be like a wet noodle and he'll slide right through your hands. You can't even hardly keep a hold of them. So these guys pretty much, they're soaked up. They're realistically clean. Man, look at how crisp and clean that platinum is. And for just an old plain platinum het genetic stripe, that genetic stripe influence really does just bold out that dorsal stripe there. It makes them so clean and fluid. Just amazing animals, man. So I've got some paper towel here, relatively clean. They've only been in there for a day on top of that paper towel. You're going to have to change your paper towel almost daily with these guys, though. Realistically, when you've got this many babies sitting off in a tub, they're all going to be peeing and making all kinds of messes. After the first few days, you know, they've burned out that egg yolk, and then they're about ready for their first meals. So I set them all up in a communal tub like this just until they all have their first shed. I'll have a little water dish on one side. This goes in a rack where my backside sitting at 86 degrees. On the front end, it's probably around 80 or so. And they'll just kind of hang out in here till they have their first shed. And then once they do have their first shed, I am kind of different maybe in the way I start my guys out than some. I will literally stand there with rat hoppers. I'll put 2 in. I'll shut the door on the tub. I'll wait for a minute until I hear a squeal. I'll open up the tub. Whoever's ate is going in an individual tub now. And I'll stand there and I'll do that over a period of a few days. Toss a couple in, let them hit it. I reach in, I pick up the rat by the tail. The snake still got it wrapped up. I put him in his little individual tub. That's a snake that's now eaten. It's getting going. It's ready for its own individual tub. And I'm confident that snake's gonna do well for me. But until they take that first meal, I keep everybody communal. That's just always how I've done it. I've had the most success that way. My very first season, as soon as they came all out, I immediately separated everybody, and I had snakes that went 6-8 months without eating, and it was just a real pain in the ass. There's something about that communal environment and them all being together. I don't know if they learn from one another or there's more smells and stuff going on in the air, but it seems to really help get that first meal going. Now, of course, you want to, as soon as they hit that first meal, you need to get them out of there. You don't want multiple snakes competing over the same prey item or anything like that. You never want to leave a meal overnight or with any kind of unvisited, unviewing, what am I even looking for here? You never want to leave them alone, though, with a mouse or a rat in there with that big communal tub like that. You want to always have your eyes on it and always be focused on those animals and what's going on. But to me, I've had the most success this way. That's pretty much how I set up and start out and get my babies rocking and rolling. So this is Ivory Connection. We're going to go put these guys back in their tub. Ryan Sullivan, y'all subscribe. Be good.